When I was told I was going to be in our return speaking at the event, I finally opened a book that my cousin had given me about 5 years ago and started going through it. And I came upon this really good passage, and so I wanted to open with it. And the author says how she hates using the G word. You know, cancer is a gift. Yuck, it isn't. There is no return receipt, and it certainly isn't a present I give to you. Happy holidays. Ooh, just what I wanted, cancer. You really shouldn't have. Cancer isn't a puppy, a pony, a new doll, or a shiny truck. Cancer isn't something you say thank you for, but it can be a catalyst. I finally have permission to take risks, put myself first, and dump my baggage. Hello, my name is Caleb Peterson, and I am a 5-year continuous survivor of a small cell blue-round sarcoma of an indeterminate type. That's as close to the expert that Mayo could get. I say 5 years continuous because I have been having treatment on and off for the past 5 years. During this time, I have completed a little more than 2 years of college, and I've even gotten a little bit of travel in. My journey started off in the fall of 2008 at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, with the surgery in August and radiation following from September 15th of that year to October 24th, during which time I was fortunate enough to be able to stay at the American Cancer Society Hope Lodge, which provides rooms for patients going through treatment and one of their caregivers. And I had very many caregivers, but it was great because you are allowed to have your own. You share a fridge with another roommate, but there are times when the Lions Club will come in and they'll make breakfast for you, or you'll have a community potluck where the whole Hope Lodge, there's a potluck, and so everybody has to make something for the potluck. And it gives you a real sense of community and closeness, and people that can relate, saying, hey, don't have the same type of cancer, but I'm going through it just like you are. And it really lets you feel comfortable even though you're having a tough time with treatment. This is followed by 7 months of chemotherapy in Eau Claire. After treatment, I went on to attend school in 2009-10 school year. In the fall of 2010, 2 weeks before finals, I had a doctor visit. I went in, and lo and behold, the tumor had returned, and I was told that I would have to undergo some form of treatment. This turned out to be surgery the following year in March, and I had actually done chemo beforehand because my sister got married, and I told my doctor, I told my sister, I'm in the wedding, I'm going to be there, so no surgery. Following that surgery, I was fortunate enough to be recommended from my oncologist at Mayo Clinic, and so I traveled to Boston for treatment in the form of proton radiation, which is an experimental type of radiation. During that time while in Boston, I was able to have many great experiences. At River Falls, where I attend school, I am a history major, so going to Boston for me was a huge thing. I also was able to witness the Milwaukee Brewers play at Fenway, and I also saw the Boston Bruins win the Cup in 2011, which is where I got the hat. And through the American Cancer Society, we were actually hooked up with a program called Hospitality Homes. Hospitality Homes find you a family to stay with during your visit to the city while you go through treatment. My dad and I were fortunate enough in June of that summer to stay with a family whose parents were similar to my dad, and their daughter was home visiting from college, and her boyfriend, they were about my age, and lo and behold, he played baseball. So it was a great June. After this, I returned home and again attended school for a while. Then, in the fall, I had missed a semester of school to go through chemotherapy for yet a third time. Now I got done with that and was like, yes, I'm done. Now I can go back to school and just do school. Well, Spring semester started, and 2 weeks into the spring semester, my tumor returned again. So treatment for a fourth time was due, and I will finish treatment next week, and that will be number 6 of cycle 4. Enough about my journey now. I want to move on to what the luminary ceremony is all about. It is a time to honor those who are fighting cancer and remembering those who lost their fight. I'm going to start with honor. My journey over the last 5 years would not have been possible without the support of key people along the way. First and foremost have to be my parents, especially my mother, who experienced cancer with me, and I am not the first. She also had aunts and even her own mom, who she was a caregiver for, which is just incredible. I also want to take the time to mention my siblings, who without this, I don't think this journey would have been possible. Another inspiration to me is a dear friend I have. We actually call each other hospital buddies because we visit each other quite a few times in the hospital. Her name is Kelsey Becker. She's a woman who lives every day with an ailment known as cystic fibrosis. In addition to not only battling this, she also lived on campus and recently graduated from the University of Minnesota Mankato. Finally, a third person I would like to honor this week, who couldn't be here but is represented in great number by those who love and support him, is my high school coach, Coach Mike Fern. At the end of one thing I do remember about that I most want to mention that I do remember my coach saying that I can take with me throughout life. At the end of our junior year, our high school baseball team finished 2 wins away from our school's first ever baseball team appearance at state. And I don't remember if it was on the bus ride home or perhaps in the locker room. But Coach left us with something to not only remember for the next year, but something to carry with us in life. He said, with some hard work and supporting each other, next year we can go far. And it's a fact. Next year, with hard work and supporting each other, we made that journey to state. This carries over to what we are doing tonight. With everyone's hard work and support in the fight against cancer each year, we are providing people with more birthdays. The other part of the luminary ceremony is remembering those who have lost their battle. And for me, it isn't just those who lost a battle with cancer that inspired me, but those who taught me a great many things along the way, but are unfortunately no longer with us. First, I'd like to mention my mom's mom, my grandma Swain. Now, she was left-handed, and me being left-handed, so unfortunately, there weren't many things Mom could teach me being right-handed. My grandma was able to show me how to tie my shoes and how to take a spiral notebook, because that's what we had at the time, flip it over, and start from the back so the spiral wouldn't dig into your hand as you're writing. The best thing I remember about my grandma is that even while going through treatment and experiencing what she was still being that grandma, reading me stories or taking trips to the zoo. The next person I would like to remember, she never had cancer, but she was there every step of the way, was my dad's mom, who recently passed away, who we all called Granny. I always put stuff that she put, being a teacher, she was a teacher, and she loved to teach. And in fact, when I was little, she was convinced that I would no longer be left-handed. So she would put stuff in my right hand. But as my mom tells me, I would continuously, she'd put it in the right, I'd take it and put it in the left, and then I'd use it. The other great thing is without her, I do not think my older sister or my younger brother would have gotten our license. If Mom and Dad were working and you needed time behind the wheel, Granny said, sure, drive me to the bank. Drive me down to Shopko, we'll get something. And so that was how I earned my hours behind the wheel. And in fact, I used her car to get my license, and that's why I have my license today. Perhaps the greatest memory I have is that never failed. Every time she knew I had treatment, every week, she would send me a card, and in that card it would always contain a verse, and all it would say after the first time was Jeremiah 29:11. The verse is, for I know the plans I have for you, declare the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. And that's what I want to leave you with, this thought. You never know whom we will bring inspiration to or whom we will touch. Therefore, if we slow our lives down and live for each day, each moment, we may be able to inspire those who never thought hope or a life with more birthdays was possible. And I'd also like to leave you with a song that I found, and I was like, this is perfect for the luminary ceremony.
Lyle.